The United States has one of the most unique forms of healthcare delivery systems. Even though several developed countries have long-standing universal healthcare, the U.S. ranks the highest in per capita spending, yet there is still a decrease in health status for our population. With that being said, the Affordable Care Act is the only type of system that is close to universal healthcare. An overall 78 million Americans lack health insurance, of which 37 million have no coverage whatsoever, while 41 million experience gaps in coverage. Out-of-pocket costs and deductibles put a financial strain on Americans whose income cannot cover those costs. The Affordable Care Act, signed into law in 2014, expanded coverage to some 20 million Americans, but has yet to achieve full coverage, on top of which legislators have sought to repeal. This is Molly. Molly is a 27-year-old woman. She just got off her parents' insurance the day before her 27th birthday. Molly is your typical happy-go-lucky gal. She likes to do fun things like go out with friends and start her career. Since she is still at a young age, she feels as though she is healthy and this isn't her time to be worried over insurance payments. Molly has just started working in an internship position at her job. She hasn't worked there long enough to obtain their health benefits package, and even though it's a paid internship, she still makes the average of the middle-class income, and with that she thinks her bills should be focused on car payments and her rent, and spending money on a healthcare plan would be a waste of her paycheck. So as of right now, everything seems to be going well for Molly, until one evening, Molly was driving her car along with her friends, and then suddenly they were hit by a car. Unfortunately, the driver who hit them was driving under the influence and caused serious injuries to the passengers. Later on, first responders arrived and took control of the situation, and an ambulance took Molly and her friends to the nearest hospital. Molly's friends had a few bumps and bruises, along with dizziness and a few sprained joints, but Molly had it worse because the car hit her on the passenger side of the car. Molly that her shoulder was beaten up pretty bad, and that there was some nerve damage. Thanks to the surgeons, they were able to fully heal the wound, although Molly will live her life with slight discomfort in her right shoulder, and preferred visits to physical therapy on a regular basis. Luckily, nothing detrimental happened to them, of course, but this was a serious wake-up call for Molly. Now she, a woman of 27, will have continuous pains and continuous visits to clinicians for the rest of her life. Eventually, Molly got the medical bill, which is upwards of $150,000, which doesn't even include the cost of physical therapy to be rehabilitated, as well as the cost of income from her not being able to work during the process, leading her into serious debt. Thankfully, her parents helped her out on the medical bills to keep her from suffering, but then they also explained to her the seriousness of health insurance and that this is a good example of why she needs it. Nothing from this accident affected her ability to work at her internship. She was still able to move around and perform her daily tasks at work, along with mild discomfort for a while, but she was still able to get that bread. However, now she's thinking about budgeting a new healthcare plan, since now she'll be needing prescriptions and routine visits. Now it's time for Molly to search for a plan that will benefit her overall health and the health of her wallet. However, since this is her first time determining a plan, it can be really confusing. So she asked the people she knows best, her family. Her parents explained to her that there are certain types of insurances she can apply for, such as public and private. Also, she must find private insurance that will help in her costs for her pre-existing condition from the injury, or else that may cost her thousands.
As Molly conducted her research, she soon finds that she can't obtain public insurance such as Medicaid because of the fact that she makes more than the necessary requirement. It would have been nice for her to get some state and federal support, but it is a real bummer that she won't be able to get this kind of help. Furthermore, she begins to look at different commercial private insurance plans. Since she has been reviewing sources online, she has developed a certain understanding of how the healthcare system has changed until today. With that, she feels blessed and grateful for her generation because if this was the case back in the 1950s, she doesn't think she would be getting this kind of opportunities as she does right now. Seeing as though the new regulations in our healthcare system that have been implemented during the 20th century and a little bit in the beginning of the 23rd has now made it more resourceful and cost efficient, such as the regulations and payment arrangements, not like how private practice finances and reimbursement were during that. Molly does feel a little overwhelmed while looking into her choices for healthcare insurance. For her, this is a big decision and she doesn't want to take it lightly and accidentally choose a plan that she doesn't approve of, and is also very overwhelmed in the terms of costs. However, her PTSD from the accident is always going to be a reminder that life will always throw a curveball unexpectedly, and it's best to always be ready if something happens. But also, too, she is concerned based on if she'll get her bang for her buck and utilize the plans that she chooses. She understands that she can qualify for insurances through her work, but in the meantime, she needs to acquire a health plan that can help her get by. Then eventually she'll be able to get a benefit package, and then later on, she can decide whether her plan or the plan her employers provide is the best option for her, whether it fits better services and or better rates. Eventually, Molly did find a plan that was beneficial to her and her necessities in a reasonable price range. Now she'll be able to maintain her injury of her shoulder and also maintain her pocketbook from going bankrupt. And now she'll have the ability to see the physician whenever she needs without any extreme out-of-pocket costs. However, she does wonder if there were others that were put into a similar situation just like her that are looking for health insurances yet couldn't nor be qualified. She wonders if there was any possible way to advocate for differences in the healthcare system for the United States, either to make it better or make it more efficient to the public.